let's watch some dancing. Hello, lovely humans. So, today we will be watching Dope. It's going to be class, right? But first, a few little announcements. I chose this dance from my Patreon page because I don't take requests in the comments down below. I take requests from my patrons, and we did our first poll together, and then Dope was chosen along with another dance, which is a surprise because it was tied. So if you want to get the chance to request what I break down on this channel, you can become a patron of mine. It's only $3 a month, and we have our own personal circle time where we share and get to know each other and things like that. So I'm loving it over there, and I hope they are too, and I think you will also if you become a patron. So, secondly, I want to thank all of you wonderful humans for the last video and the comments that you left. My last video was about Jimin's Lie solo Bangtan Bomb, and some of the stuff that you said, I just love circle time in the comments because some of the stuff that you said was just so interesting and illuminating. There were some really nice disagreements and kind of people giving their own perspectives on why they liked a certain section that I wasn't a fan of and stuff. And I just think this is what it's all about, is communication and sharing our interests, sharing what we see. And it doesn't matter if one person likes one thing or the other, it's we can all learn from each other. It was so cool. There's this one particular comment I remember because I don't like this one section in his solo where suddenly it becomes a bit hip-hoppy. If you watch it, I'll put it up here if you want to watch it. It's towards the end of the solo, and I explained why I didn't like it. And then someone wrote just an incredible version of what they see and why they think it's important within the dance, and something that I never even thought of or never saw myself. And I just love getting a little view into people's minds. I think it's fascinating because we're all so different. So please continue. I like long paragraphs. I'm all about the long comments on describing what you like in dance and what you see and things like that. So with that in mind, this is going to be extremely detailed because Dope is extremely detailed. So for anyone who hasn't been to this channel before, I pause a lot and I talk a lot because, say it with me, this is not a reaction channel. I think we should just hop right in, to be perfectly honest. Expect lots of pausing and many the talking, and let's just get into it. Okay, cool. So let's get started. 3, 2, 1. So I just have to give RM his dues in this dance because there's several moments where I find him so hilarious. He's adopted this character that I was not expecting, and I freaking love it. At the start there, he does his little bow, and then he does this thing where I thought the very first time I saw it that he'd forgotten what he has to do next, because he just leaves the world for a second, but then listens to the music and then clicks, but then if you watch him walk away, it's he doesn't let go of the character, he doesn't let go of the sensations and the movement that he's bringing with it, so he just has this walk that's all right. And he continues with it later on, so I really have to give him his props to it. I find him so entertaining to watch in this whole dance. I wanted to explain my choices. So I thought about watching the MV for this breakdown, but of course the practice is always better in the sense that you get to see every formation change, you get to see it as a wide shot and nothing kind of escapes you, which is the reason why I chose this dance practice. But I will say a couple of things later on in the video on my thoughts on the different variations of Dope and the different variations of how it can be performed. But let's continue. Hey! Nice! Here we go! Okay, let's talk about all of that, please, and thank you. So, what's really great about this dance, or kind of a little bit different to a lot of BTS work, is the build-up is very clear, and there's almost nothing into intense choreography. So that's a little bit different, really great to see. And I think it's interesting watching Jungkook and Jimin, like they just basically have to hold the space. They have to build, they're just two people on the stage who have to build the entire thing. And then what helps is then the run on of all the bodies in the middle. And this in the music. I really like the choice of the movement there as well. I've always liked the choice. I think there's something about, like, first of all, it just looks really cool. You know, you get low and then you get high, but it's in this kind of slow motion vibe, and you're pushing through the pelvis, and there's something about that power that's really, really great. And then we get into hardcore, let us dance. And I will say I have always enjoyed that era of Jungkook and his jeans and white t-shirt. Hey. Okay. Oh, there is so much there. Right, let's go back and watch that again. Hey. Okay. I mean, there's so much there. So I'll try my best and then I'll just continue, and they do it again, so maybe I'll think of other things to say again. But basically, like, it's just, Dope is a really interesting mixture of arms and legs, really, really sharp angles and clear positioning of arms in particular. Like, you'll notice all of like there's really, really clear shapes with the arms, and then the feet are extremely complementary of the arms. And I think that's what makes it so satisfying to watch. And what makes it also so satisfying is that they hit every single thing that is happening in the music. Because the sax, or that brass, is what's kind of replacing a lot of rhythm and beats in the music. So it needs a different energy than just like bass and snares in hip hop would normally be used by a whole groove and a whole body. But this is a little bit different. The music is a little bit different. So you have to use different modes of interpreting the music. And the choreographers for this piece are Keone and Mary Madrid, and I adore them. They're some of my favorite choreographers. Actually, in the description below, I will share one of my favorite pieces that they made very recently that actually made me want to cry, and hip hop and commercial choreography rarely makes me want to cry. So I love them as choreographers, and this is one of their most interesting commercial work that they've done. Little shout out as well to that really, really simple, this coming and then dropping down. All you have to do is drop levels and swap levels even, and it's so simple and effective and fab. But we'll definitely go into more and more of what's happening in the chorus later. It's just so much to get through. Let's go. Hey, J-Hope. Hey. Okay. Two things there. Right. Several things there. J-Hope's bit is one of my favorite parts in Dope, but it doesn't happen in this dance practice. And I will tell you why. Because I believe, this is my opinion, that they got better at performing this after the dance practice, after this was filmed. So even already the MV, they are much better at performing this dance than they are here. Like, the MV is insane. Like, the music video is so good. And there's something about the way that they perform this, and they get more and more comfortable in performing it, that I find, I have seen some Dope live performances and the MV performance that have kind of blown my mind a little bit. So I am of the opinion that they got better at performing this after this was filmed. And J-Hope, like, for me, has that famous bit where he doesn't rap that particular part in his solo, and instead like kind of either points the microphone to the audience or like does that little finger thing. I hope you know what I'm talking about, but it's one of my favorite parts because it's so cheeky, and he develops this incredible effervescent character, like person that you just want to see more of. And instead in this dance practice he's been given choreo, which sometimes isn't enough to really explode your personality. I really, really enjoy his solo in later performances. Let me know what you think about that. Do you agree? I just love how they developed characters. They really settled into the Dope message, like later on in their performances. There's something about this dance that requires arrogance and also insane dancing ability that they just married so well in later performances that it was just like, you are so good at dancing this, but also it looks like you're not even trying. And I think that was gained later. But it's really great to be able to see this entire wide shot and also not get copyrighted, so I will be continuing with this video. But let me know what you think. And then also I want to say, I really, really like the formation change here. Let's watch this for a second. So we have J-Hope's moment, and then it goes into Suga being the center point, but the way they do that is so clean. Like they literally, like, we are putting this group of dancers on this side of the room, but Suga is next. So we're going to just, literally, this is how we make him center. We just bring more people onto the stage. So this. Hey, boom. And then he's suddenly the center. It's so clean. Hey, I love that bit. So if you go back, there's this running I really, really enjoy. So there's the running around. I really, really like that. I don't know. I think like running around and him rapping in the center, it just gives this sense. I mean, the whole point of this dance and song is about like, I keep working, I keep going. You're out just living a leisurely existence, and I am working my ass off, becoming the best that I can be. So this running around the circle is really nice because it just keeps the momentum going, and it keeps this feeling of like rolling, do you know? Keep moving, continuing, and then he's in the center. Oh, it's class. It's a really great choice. And then I really, really like, there's just a nice attachment to the music later when they drop, boom, da-da-da. So there's a da-da-da in the music, and particularly Jungkook, he musically shows this very, very well. I think he like adds an extra hand. Maybe it's by an accident, but I just enjoyed that section isn't just about getting up, but it's about getting up with the music. I really like that. There's so many almost like Easter eggs of these things throughout the dance that hopefully I can show you guys. The more and more I watch this, the more I was like, oh, go back, what do they do there? And they're thinking about that in the music. It's so cool. Moving on. Just even, I don't know, there's this nice suspension in the air in that fall. Like, it's these simple things that look simple that aren't simple. Like, you have to make a particular choice. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know you have to suspend. You have to know that you're up, and then there's almost like this fake jump fall into, like, it's all very calculated. It's all very chosen. Like, every single moment is really deliberate. That is the word. Every moment is deliberate, and that's what I really love about Dope. I love this. I love it. And it goes, and they go round in a circle. Yeah. More running. So it's lovely. It's just so lovely. So Taeyong is like very, very commanding, but then I just think that I think the choice of that finger, and then it's really nice how it attaches to the way that they move. I think there's something that I missed, so I'll go back in a second. But again, more running to the formation change. So it's just kind of always like, let's keep going. That's shown in the MV as well, that it's the feeling of one take. So it's the feeling like continue. Just keep moving. It's really, really nice. I think what I wanted to see, 1 second now. Sorry, move it. Yeah, J-Hope shows that really well on the yeah. It's not just yeah to come back. It's not smoothing it out. There are 3 moments happening in that syllable, or in that moment, that voice, that vocal moment. Yeah, and J-Hope shows it really, really well in his body. They're down here. It's like da-da-da. They're hitting 3 moments, which is really great. Like, I think all of these things, even if you don't notice it, it's adding to something. It's adding to the excitement. It's adding to the clarity of this whole dance. And even if you can't pinpoint it, you know why it's good for some reason, you know? Let's keep going. Let's just watch it again. More running. Yeah! I love Jin's section so much because I was so surprised by the choreography. First of all, I love when they're running and then I don't want to say yes, and you see Jin like really cutely jumping and finishing in place so that you know he's there, you know that it's his time and it's his solo. It's really, really great. And then this. It's one of my favorite moves in the entire thing because it's so boy band, like kind of cheesy, but in this, like, I think each of them have their moment. That's another thing about Dope. Wow, this dance has layers. Each of them has their moment that's different to the other one, and that's portrayed in the choreography as well. So each one of them has their own setup. I literally only realized that right now through talking. So thanks, guys, for letting me think out loud. So this is great. This is Jin's moment, and the choreography even is different. And I love that he does this. I'll show you. He does this better in the second time that he does this, and I love this position. It's fab. Okay, let's keep going. I love the choreography back here as well. So let's go back. Cause we got fire. So it's like it's building, a building. It has to build because it's the chorus is coming, but you don't have to build necessarily with extremely fast movement. There's actually like really big kind of loping pushes and jumps and stuff in this section that I really like. Hey, push. So it's all this kind of okay. So again, this moment just before the chorus starts. And then you have, but Jungkook doesn't really join in, which is nice because he still kind of has his moment. He's still the vocal that's pushing and building to the chorus. And then I just love this kind of fast grooving, fast bouncing, but again, it is all arms. For this particular part of the chorus, it feels like it goes between really fast grooves. Grooves are when the whole body is bouncing to the music, and fast arms and legs. So pretty much every body part is getting a workout. And then it's gonna go into this really nice, surprising moment that it's one of my favorite parts of Dope. Hey, so let's go back. There is too much to say about this dance, but it's class. And this comes out of nowhere. I think Dope is really cheeky, like I said before, even J-Hope's moment is cheeky, but the whole thing is cheeky. Like, it's like, how unreal am I? And also I know it. It's one of my favorite moments, and actually in my opinion Jungkook gets better and better at doing that moment in live performances and in the MV as well. He gets really cute about it, but cute in a really like, oh, don't mess with me. And he's bouncing, it's all really adorable. And then they're like, it's iconic. It's kind of iconic, like, it's so good. So yeah, and I think it's just, as well, this great hook of the sax is really well interpreted with the body in this choreography. Hey. Love that. And it's just angles as well, because the whole, do you know what, it's really nice as well, the whole of Dope is very like forward facing, and the angles you see are very forward facing. But then there's this moment here of like changing angles. Remember, I've never done this dance before. Changing angles, and I think they get low enough and you see a beautiful line in the body, and it's just great. It's a visual feast, I will tell you. Here we go. I love that. So there's like a tap tap, and then they explode, so they've all come in. Oh, it's just really smart choreography. They've all come in, so they're all together, but that's not it. It's not over. And there's like a tap, boom, and then they all explode out because there's more to do. It's so exciting. It's a very exciting dance. Here we go. I'm gonna go back because it's just too fun to watch. Hey. And then they all expand. So it's like they're hitting the sax and the lyrics at the same time. There is no break allowed. And then I love this little, you can never see my feet, but there is a little foot thingy happening. But then it comes back up the body, and then it like comes to move. So nice. And I really like as well actually that it's fast and to the syllables and to as much of the choreography as possible. So it's fast. And then here there's this like breakdown where it slows down a little bit, but it stays as staccato. It's a very staccato dance as well. Really, really fab. Hey, Charleston. I love that bit. Okay, I love that bit. Because it's one of the only parts that you see that smooths out the body, so it's almost like a palate cleanser in the madness that we're seeing. And it's also repeated, because a lot of stuff that we see aren't repeated, there's just new arms everywhere. And then here, it's really, really nice and smoothed out. And then I love the and head and hands and feet, because it kind of like highlights the whole body again, draws your attention back into the rest of the dance, into how we have to come and end with them, that moment. It is perhaps my favorite part of the entire dance, because I am all about the simple but effective. And it's just, I just love it, so perfect with what's happening in the music. Boop, 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 ba. So they're like, do, 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 do. Of course, that's all you need to do. And then I just love how the difference is just RM goes high and they go low. Oh, and there's this moment as well where they touch the shoulder, because I think if they got any lower it would look strange. It's great, it's fab. And it's such a great way to transition into a next section, especially because RM is at the back. So it's really like, ooh, who's this guy? And it's just definitely a next section, it's great. Now, this next bit, I flipping love, because again, RM is back and the character that we were introduced to at the beginning of this is back. And watch, he steps on every single beat and thing in the music. It's so funny. Maybe at the start he misses something, but oh, he's just class. It's so much fun again. And he just stays that low and lifts up his leg so that he still has something to do, but he has to be up on the bass. It's class. Very impressed with him in this dance practice. Okay. So this is something that I noticed before. Just the nice choices again. So they come out when he like now that really. This is the thing as well. He's words, Ricky. Calm blue ocean. Okay, he comes and is quite comical, but then stands up on the bass really nice and sharp, and then his arms, like those guns. No, it's like the direction and the strength in his arms is definitely clear and it's very powerful. And then at the same time, he's making the dancers come and slide out. And what I really like is that they slide out, two slide out on this side, then two slide out on that side. But then there's two left and they slide out separately. And I don't know, I just really like that. I really like how it's different. It gives me a sense of depth. That's what it gives me. Because it's not the two people closest to him on this side and the two people closest to him on this side. It's one dancer and then a further dancer, one dancer and then a further dancer, and then they kind of fill in the gaps. But it just gives a sense of like growth. And then with the bass that's happening in the music, it's really strong. It's very clear. So here. And then, hey! 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 Okay, so this is a lot more effective in the MV, in my opinion, because the camera and the lens are able to give this sense of like sugar coming at the camera, you know, and then you like the camera's traveling. It's incredible in the MV, but I really like what's happening in the dancing there anyway. So like there's a do 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 do, and then boom when the beat changes they come. I really like how low they get, and then comes up da 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 da. But it's so fab. It's so fab to watch. But then sugar coming forward is really really effective. It's one of the best parts of the MV in my opinion. Hey! Hey, it's class. I just think simplicity again. So there's very hard snares, ka, 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 and it's just about like ta, ta, ta. I don't know what they're doing, but they hit those really, really well. And then there's a da, 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 I think, and it goes ba, ba, and they come and collect back in together. Let's watch it again. Watch. Love it. So I just love that part. Okay, we watched a lot there, but I hope you got what I meant about tap, 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 ba-da-da, and then they collect. It's really nice. And just, and again, clear. You don't need to do too much because the snare is telling you not to do too much. And then it goes into Taeyong's part again, but when they come round, da-da-da, and then here they run around, and it's Jin again. But I just love, particularly this part that he does it, because he holds this for a tiny second longer, like a millisecond longer. So it's this like sunshine moment, because he completely projects forward and he's like, ah! It's so nice. And I think he has such incredible arms, like the hyperextension is insane. And you see those fingers, they're just crazy. Anyway, moving on. Unreal. Oh, so just see like, I think it's flashes of arms to complement the lyrics. Flashes of staccato movements. That's what makes it so exciting. And then But then I think the grooves then remind you of the sax and the bass and the support of the song. So that supports the movement. Oh, I love this. Charleston step. Smooth. Class. I will share something that is so embarrassing. Jimin is fully speaking in Korean that entire time, but when he goes, the second line that he comes out, so he goes da 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 Bangtan and he points and then the dancers change, which is also very nice. I hear him sing, "'Cause you're my winter wonderland." I hear winter wonderland, "'cause you're my winter wonderland" every time. Then Jungkook, let's just move swiftly on. Ha! Yeah! I love that. It's so simple again. Class. I prefer that in the MV, and then that's just such a moment for me anyway in the live performances, and you can see how much he enjoys it, how it's kind of like a little control, or it's a little kind of tasty moment, you know? Listen. I don't know, there's something about that. There's something about the performance that he does in that. I've seen him do it so many different ways now, but I really like how he just opens out the arms. It's really welcoming and embracing, or it's embracing of what he's talking about, like, this is the life that I live. I don't know, I find great joy in that moment for some reason. Hey, let's go. So it's like there's two different choruses. There's this chorus that happens the first time, then they do the second type of chorus twice in the middle, and then they revisit this at the end. This is why I feel Dope is always there to keep you on your toes or something. Like, there's always just a visual feast of movement that isn't going to stop. And this is class. We're back to this again. Jum jum ba ta. And I love Jimin being in the center for this. I love it. Like, he's so great because it's so intense on the body and it's really staccato. He's this very nice way of softening it just the right amount. I love this bit. Okay, we have to watch that bit again. I think maybe that's why he's center, or he's playing it up a little bit and making it a little bit different in the center, because it's so nice. Where there's like so you kind of explode and then you 1, 2, 3 and da 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 or something. And he does this gorgeous thing where he lets his spine go just a little bit more. He lets the head and the spine go, and he falls. It looks like he's falling a little bit, and it's unreal. Just watch it here. Yeah, or he lets his head go and circle with it. It's so nice. I'm sorry. We're watching it again because we're at the end. Hey. It's like J-Hope and RM. Like, cause it's so, and you have to like end there, but you've been dancing like a lunatic the whole time. And there's this little shift from J-Hope and RM, like trying to keep their balance. I mean, I don't know why the thumb. Why do you think the thumb? Is it like, it's all going to be okay? But there you go. I always like listen out for their heavy breathing at the end, because I'm like, how hard was it? Show me. It was fucking hard. So yeah, there we go. Thank you so much if you got to the end of this video and you enjoyed it, and I hope you kind of saw new things, and I really want to hear what you guys see now. So circle time in the comments. The comments are a safe space, safe environment for you to articulate and learn to articulate the types of things that you like to see in dance. What you don't like is equally as important, and things that you want more of, things that you want less of in the dance that we watch together. Because I think the language of the body is a very abstract thing. So if we can do our best to language it, then what dance is can be more valued and accessible for everyone. That's really what I want. And if you want to request anything, I have polls and circle time on my Patreon page, which I will link here. That's it from me. If you enjoyed this video, you can like, you can subscribe, you can ring the little bell that gives you all the notifications, you can share it with your friends, and you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Remember, you are who you choose to be, and Shibby is not here. Oh, didn't say this at the beginning. Shibby is not here because Shibby is not tall enough to be here and he can't say goodbye, so I'm gonna do that terrible way of saying goodbye at the end of these videos now.